Why make a book into a movie when you can make it into 2 movies? I tear apart this terrible trend in the latest episode of Angry Nerd. Before we begin, let's check the comments on my last Hunger Games rant. I asked you how you'd tweak the rules of the actual Hunger Games competition to make it a better reality TV show. Stevanalid suggested telling contestants they had 3 hours to win before the island got nuked. That'd be a great motivator. Tamasa Uchiha suggests that the movie should be more like the books and show the contestants constantly on the verge of starvation and foraging for sustenance. Good point. It's called the Hunger Games after all. Adele Jones says the Hunger Games doesn't need any changes, it's all original. It's original if you've never heard of Running Man or Battle Royale, Adele.
But I hope you leave enough room for my fist because I'm going to ram it into your stomach!
Now let's talk about this latest installment. I'm all for movies about ass-kicking archery experts. Why doesn't Hawkeye have his own movie? And Jennifer Lawrence is the most promising new action hero since Iko Uwais. I thought that the second Hunger Games movie fixed most of the problems I had with the first movie. They even made Buttercup the cat orange. So I want to be optimistic about the new film, but it's got a huge obstacle right out of the gate. I mean, just look at this title. Hunger Games: Mockingjay, Part 1. It needs 2 pieces of punctuation? That's because Lionsgate Studio is splitting book 3 of the popular young adult series into 2 films. There are a couple of reasons that I'm wary of seeing the Hunger Games trilogy stretched out into a tetralogy. The main one is that I thought Mockingjay was by far the weakest book in the series. By far. I mean, there's not even an actual Hunger Games competition in it. Instead, there are a lot of skirmishes and political machinations in a dystopian milieu that, let's be honest, it's pretty familiar to anyone who's read a bit of YA sci-fi. And this is the entry in the franchise that's going to get twice as much screen time? The other reason I don't like this is that it forces the filmmakers to fake a climax. Let me explain. See, the book may have been a letdown, but at least it has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Mockingjay Part 1 will have to whip up some sort of crescendo at the midpoint of the book's story. See, Harry Potter did the same thing. Now, that was a film franchise that got steadily better as it went along, and it was based on a series of books that were way more involving than the Hunger Games books. And it still barely pulled off splitting the book Deathly Hallows into 2 films. I mean, seriously, if not for the touching death of Dobby, I'm not sure that the cliffhanger ending of Part 1 would have worked for me. But those 2 Deathly Hallow films, based on 1 book, made $2.3 billion. It's hard to argue with that. That is why Summit Entertainment turned the last Twilight book into 2 movies, and it's why Lionsgate plans to do the same thing with the Divergent series. You can expect to see a lot more saga subdivisions in the future. If this trend is unavoidable, then at the very least, I hope that Hollywood learns not to backload the extended material. I would so much rather have Catching Fire Part 1 and 2 than Mockingjay Part 1 and 2. Stretch out the meaty middle of the trilogy, not the ending. I mean, imagine Return of the Jedi Part 2 with half an hour of the Yub Nub celebration dance. How do you say no thank you in Ewokese? Or worse, imagine twice as much of the evil Peter Parker interlude in Spider-Man 3. Oh, that dancing is not sexy. Oh, okay, that's enough. We've made our point. Make it stop! What movie trilogy do you wish was 1 film longer? Let me know in the comments. Oh, I should clarify that my reservations about subdivided book adaptations do not apply to The Hobbit. In fact, even as a trilogy, the Hobbit movies are leaving out far too much material from the book for my taste. I encourage Peter Jackson to split the Battle of Five Armies into 2 movies. There's still time. Let me know if you'll sign on to my campaign to make the Hobbit trilogy a tetralogy down below in the comments, and subscribe to the Wired channel.